Welcome back to the Cookbook Club. Today we are diving in for the very first time to the Bread Baker's Apprentice. I am intimidated by this, but we're going to get through it. This month is going to be crazy, right? Today we're doing an Italian bread. We're going to be making a Biga Preferment, and then we're going to be making some delicious Italian bread. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Okay, so this week we're taking our first dive into The Bread Baker's Apprentice by Peter Reinhardt. We are on page 178. We are going to be making his Italian bread, and what is required in this bread is we have to make a biga, which is a pre-ferment. It's a way to bring more flavor, more texture, more strength to your bread. This requires us to make this pre-ferment yesterday, right? And I did that. So take a look at how I did that. So we're going to make the biga here. I have the flour in here. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. We're going to put our yeast in. And we're going to put our water in. So this is hydrated to 66 point something %. So it is going to come into a ball here and sort of look like dough. So it's coming together nicely. So we're going to let this knead for like about 5 minutes. Okay, so our biga has been in here kneading for about 5 minutes-ish. 5 minutes-ish. We're going to get this baby out of this and we're going to put it in our bowl. Okay, so we're just going to spray this a little bit with a little olive oil. We're going to take our biga, put it here, flip it over, coat it, basically. Looking pretty nice. So this is like a dough. It's tacky, but it's not overly sticky. It looks good. And we're going to cover the bowl with some plastic wrap. So we're going to leave this out for about 2 hours. We want this to increase in size about 1.5 times. Then it'll go into the refrigerator overnight. Okay, this has been about 2 hours, and I popped it for 1 hour into my proofer. Let me check real quick and see if we're even anywhere near 78 degrees right on the...
Wow.
Wow, that proofer is amazing. We need it between 77 and 81. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see how... Oh, it's not super sticky, but it is sticky.
Yeah, because you greased the glass.
Yeah.
It's still sticky.
This is a little higher hydrated than using...
Do you need to respray it?
I have quite a bit of grease in here already.
Do you want to respray it?
Got that air out of there. Get a little more in here. I don't need too much. Just like that. Cover it up, and this is going into the refrigerator until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night, my little baby.
Good night, Mommy.
Good night, Dada. Okay, so our biga has been in the refrigerator now for 1 whole day and about 2 hours. So here it is. Ooh, very nice. So we're gonna take it out. It's very cold because it's been in the refrigerator. Okay, so our first step is going to be, let me oil this so I don't get crazy, right? So here's our biga. And our first step is we're going to cut this biga in to 10 pieces, 10 small pieces. 2, 4, 8, 9. They're not all even pieces.
You'd have to weigh it and do some math.
Yeah, I'm not going through all of them. So we need to put these pieces out like this. We're using this on this small thing. This is pretty much to get the chill off of this. So we're going to go ahead and cover this, and we're going to let it sit out for an hour. So our Biga has been sitting here for an hour. I have the remainder of our dry ingredients. So I have some bread flour, some sugar, some yeast, instant yeast, and some salt. And we're going to go ahead and stir this up a little bit. And we're going to put this into our stand mixer. With my very beloved beater blade pouring chute here. Okay, so we have our Biga here. Mm-hmm. Biga smells like bread in here, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to go ahead and put these babies into here. I didn't weigh this. Oh, well. Supposed to be 119 grams or something. We're going to put our oil in here. All this is weighed out. Down to the gram. And we're going to go ahead and put some 90-degree water in here. So it's coming together nicely. We're going to let this knead about 5 minutes. Okay, so we need to check the temp of the dough for one. Needs to be 77 to 81. And I don't know if you can see that or not. We're at 80. Perfect. So the question is, do we have a window pane? It's pretty stretchy. Still breaking a little bit. But we do have a window pane right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. I can see it.
Until you put your finger through it.
Yeah, until I put my finger through it. So let's get this dough out of this mixer. Okay, so now we're going to spray our bowl a little bit. So now it's technically on its first rise, even though
the pre-ferment
seems like
that's sticky. Maybe you should have sprayed your fingers.
bored. Don't do it like this. Use a board. Use a board like a
civilized person would?
Yeah, like a civilized person would.
Well, can't you just rub it around all the oil in there?
So that looks good. I'm I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. 30 minutes in, we're going to do a stretch and fold. So it's going to arise for about an hour, but we're going to do a stretch and fold halfway through. So it's been 30 minutes. Here is our dough. We're going to take this back like this. And we're going to do a stretch and fold. Ooh, it feels nice. So it's going to be a little sticky, so we're going to put our hands in a little bit of water. And a stretch and fold is just you're going to do it on all four corners of a round dough. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this side and we're going to lift. Look at that. Wow! Fold.
Wow.
Wow. This side, stretch. This helps us develop our gluten, gives the dough some strength. Boom. And it's going to go up and down.
Hey.
And yeah.
Yay.
So form it back into a little dough. Looks a little stretchy. Put this on here. And this needs to double in size. I think this is going to take like 2 hours. So we will be back in 2 hours. Okay, our dough is looking amazing.
Crazy.
We need to separate that out into two so we can, we can make our loaves. It's finally that time. So I'm going to put this here and I'm going to weigh this.
This is 1,070.
1050.
It lost 20 grams of weight that fast. Wow. So 525 then, Amy. Pretty good?
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice dough. Getting some of that air out of there. Smoothing it out. So I need to go back to page 77 where he shows how to form these. Fold the bottom third into rough rain. So we're going to fold this up like this, and we're going to create a little tunnel in the middle of here. And then we're going to roll it again and use our hand or the heel of our hand, or maybe not, to create a seal, to create tension on here. So there's two parts to this shaping. We're going to do this and put it on here, and we're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes. Whoop, and then we're going to extend it out to 12 inches. This is where I think for me some things break down because I'm not good at shaping. The bread comes out great, but I can't say I'm a master shaper. So without degassing, as he says, we're going to shape it into a rectangle. I'm going to fold that over and make a little indentation and fold it over again and seal it with the edge of my hand, which is not what I'm doing. But hey, whatever, right? So we're going to let these rest for 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Phew, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to take our dough here. I didn't put like semolina on here, which I will. So we need to stretch these out to be about 12 inches. I don't know. How do you get them to go out to be 12 inches, like he says?
Yank on them?
It doesn't seem right. It's because I messed up how they look. These aren't exactly 12 inches.
They're not going to be 12 inches if at that size.
Is that close enough?
I told you, to the board. End of it.
It doesn't really say how to get them out to 12 inches. I think that's kind of making them not too good looking. I think I'm losing my tension by doing that. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. So I'm going to put some semolina on here. Because if I actually am going to bake these on a pizza stone, if I don't have something a little coarse, I'm never going to get it off of here. But that also might not be what I'm going to do if I can't get it to work right. I don't know, my tension's gone out of these. Seriously. My tension's gone out of them.
You can't just re-roll them?
Huh? We'll see. So one thing I forgot when I went back and looked at his instructions, this is not going to bake out well because it's going to get wide there. He said, spray lightly with oil. There you go. Okay. We got to let it rise for an hour. So the first thing we're going to do is I have a cast iron skillet here, and we have this thing, and we're going to pour some water in there. Woo! That is creating steam. That's probably good. Eesh. So I'm going to move this. I want to put these on a hot pan, so that's why I'm doing this like this. And we're going to spray the inside of the oven with water to make some steam. We're going to close the door. I'm doing one more spritz. And then I'm going to lower the oven down to 425. It dropped because of me having the door open. Okay, man, oh man. This has been quite the journey. Mistakes were made there at the end, right? I knew that was going to happen. So, there's a lot of steps to this bread. The more I do it, the faster it's going to be for me, and I will get better at it. I made a huge mistake. I forgot to slash the dough here. I forgot to slash the dough. So after we had steamed it, I was like, I didn't slash it. So I went in there and slashed it, and that's what I ended up with. So this is how my slashes end up, like pathetic looking slashes, but it's may not affect how it's going to taste. I did butter it there at the end, like 5 minutes before we put it back in the oven. Probably not something you would normally do on a French bread because it's going to make the crust softer. And if you want crusty crust, then you won't do that, but it smells good.
About the temperatures, we panicked because he wanted 500 and it took at 450. But we lost a lot just spraying it.
So he wants you to heat that oven and put that water in at 500. And I didn't want to burn my oven up, and I didn't want to set up the smoke detector. So we did it at 450 and turned it down to 425. He does it at 500 and turns it down to 450. Which is going to give you more of a crispy crust.
But we lost 75 degrees with that door open.
Yeah, when we opened the door to spray, we were losing. So when we lowered it down, it was down to 375.
So maybe higher, wouldn't it?
So maybe higher is better. Oh, we got to wait till this completely cools before we can taste it. But it smells amazing. And I did learn a lot. Okay, so I let the bread fully cool. This was actually the next day because I was tired. I put it in my favorite bread bags here. I'll put a link down there to these bread bags. They're amazing. This morning I literally feel like I was hit by a Mack truck. And this is because this is my first time making this. Like, I've made a lot of different kinds of breads, but never anything this intense and this many steps and this many rises and all this. And I'm going to be honest with you. There was a time in the middle of this process where I literally thought I was going to start crying. I was exhausted. At times I wasn't comfortable with my knowledge. But this book walked me through it. Like, this book made the process really easy. I was just, the first time you do anything, you really have to work through it. So my suggestion is, if you buy this book and you cook this Italian bread and you cook it every weekend for 2 months, right? You're going to become amazing. Even after a month, you're going to become amazing at it. And I can tell you with just this one process, I have learned so much. My bread making has really changed, even though mistakes were made, right?
That stretch and fold was awesome, wasn't it?
The stretch and fold was awesome. It allowed me to really, I'm used to working on gluten development and stretching that dough, but that took it to another level. And it made me connected to the dough in ways that I haven't been. And I think it's going to be awesome. Am I going to get like fantastic results here? I made errors, right? One of my errors was I formed it first, like he says, let it rest 5 minutes and then stretch it out to 12 inches. Well, when I did that, I lost a lot of tension. So see how the dough it totally spread it out. It didn't go up enough. It just spread it out. So the pieces are going to be totally that shape. And they will be in this kind of bread. Look at that. It will be in this kind of bread, but yeah. I was also scared at cooking it at 500.
Not realizing how much heat we'd lose open that door.
Yeah. Mistakes were made, but those mistakes changed the way I'm going to make bread from here on out.
You didn't use a scalpel at the right time.
Yeah, I didn't slash it at the right time. Sorry about that. My allergies are kicking in because it's spring. This is amazing. That's our dough. That's
what will be more amazing is butter on it.
So let me go ahead and finish cutting this.
If you guys can only smell what it smells like right now.
Sheesh. It's amazing. It is amazing. Yeah, it's a lot from just making a straight line dough, but it's all about the learning. And when you learn how to do this, you'll be a lot faster at it. Okay, so I got a little butter here. One of the things I want to do is I want to get, because I have a pizza stone, but it's small. I need to get like a piece of stone, like as big as my rack, or maybe a slate or something. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But I will.
Bread domes are scary because if you do it too much dough, it gets ugly.
Yeah,
Dose, boo-boo.
Dos Redis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see if this has more flavor than... It definitely has a lot more aroma.
Oh, the aroma's up there.
Wow. The bread is up there.
It's very soft.
For us cooking it at such a high temperature, it's amazing that it's this soft. This is amazing. My bread life is forever changed. Even though I may not have reached the stage of being an apprentice, I think I'm on my way. Thanks, Chef Reinhardt. I appreciate it. The Bread Baker's Apprentice. We will continue next week. Thanks for joining me.